Hey, welcome back to the PA Universe. I'm glad you made your way back. I'm Dale McKinney. I'm your host. I've got a good episode for you today. With us today is Dr. Kris Pyles-Sweet. She's a physician associate that practices, and she's going to come and talk about something that's familiar that we've been highlighting here for several different episodes. And it's the fact that things go haywire and wonky and change when a collaborative physician leaves, when the state laws say PAs can't practice without them. And we've got to get those state laws changed. And Dr. Pyles-Sweet is going to tell us exactly why they've got to change. We're going to talk to her and we're going to figure out what happened to her, what happened to her practice, her community, more importantly, her patients when that happened, and highlight why these laws have to change. Come right back. You're not going to want to miss this. Hey, welcome back. Glad you joined us. We're here with Dr. Kris Sweet. She's going to tell us what happened with her and her practice, her community, more importantly, her patients when the collaborative physician left because the state said there had to be one. So, Dr. Sweet, welcome to the PA Universe.
Thank you for having me, Dale.
Oh, you bet. I'm glad you're here. So let's get to it. Tell us, number one, tell us, you don't have to tell us exactly, tell us what state this was in so we can kind of get more info.
I was actually in Sioux City, Iowa. I was working at a CBOC. It's an outlying clinic of the VA.
Okay. All right. And so you were practicing there. What kind of practice setting? There were how many physicians and how many PAs?
There was myself and another PA.
Okay.
And the physician.
Okay, and what happened? Tell us.
It was very interesting. It was a Monday morning. I was in the middle of seeing my patients, and the office manager came and knocked on the door and said, "Kris, we have a problem. We can't get a hold of the physician. Can you go over to his apartment and check on him?" No. So he went over and checked, and when he came back, he looked very solemn. Didn't know what was happening. He told me I had to immediately quit seeing patients. Why?
Wow.
Well, they had found the physician had died over the weekend.
Wow.
So immediately, the person I was with, I had to escort them to the waiting room. There was a waiting room full of PAs, veterans, by the way, not just regular. These were veterans.
Yeah, a waiting room full of patients?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Right. And they all wanted to be seen, and I had to go out and make an announcement. I apologize. We're going to have to reschedule you. I didn't say much at first, but they kept pushing. Why can you not see me? You're here. They just couldn't grasp the idea that I wasn't able to see them. Then eventually I said, my supervising physician had passed, and I can't practice right now. Many stayed because they thought I was going to change my mind. But an entire week worth of patients had to be rescheduled.
Wow. So tell us through the timeline. How did this get resolved? Did it get resolved? What happened from there?
It ended up not getting resolved. I went ahead and left the position. I was scared. I needed money, and I didn't know if they were going to be able to find somebody that quickly. It's the VA. To back it up. And what people might not understand if they know what a CBOC is, they're actually privatized. They're not really, they're part of the VA, but not really.
Okay.
So they still had to go through credentialing, but it's not like they could pull somebody over from
Right. So how long did it take before this practice got to see patients, or did the practice just fold?
Well, very interestingly, it was about a week and a half, and a little bit more to the story. The person who owned that CBOC called me and asked me why I was not seeing patients. He was very mad. He was livid, in fact, couldn't understand the rules of the state, why I couldn't see the patients. But at that point, it was pretty tense. They kept pushing me to see the patients. Oh, can you just not write an order? Literally, I could not. I even called, there was a high-ranking PA in the White House. Somebody gave me his name and number, and I called, said,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. And he said, quit. You can't continue seeing the patients.
Right.
By the law, I was stuck.
Okay. And you can't see the patients because you don't have a collaborative physician on record at that point. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so how many patients do you think this affected?
Oh, it was a lot. There were about 15 people in the waiting room on that Monday morning.
Okay.
Throughout the week, we usually saw about 30 to 35 patients a day.
Okay. And then what do you think the entire, the patient census would have been on your books? Are we talking hundreds? Are we talking thousands? How many patients lost their provider the moment that happened?
Oh my goodness. I would say in the hundreds at least.
Okay.
Upper hundreds.
Okay. And so any patients that had lab work out or diagnostic tests out, they were just gone?
Correct.
Okay.
They had nobody overlooking them.
If patients, let's say that day in that waiting room, out of the dozens of people were there to get refills, they just couldn't get refills?
Amen. That's the truth.
And I'm wondering if these were veterans, if some of them might have been on some medications that weren't just easy to refill, easy to find a PCP to refill those?
Correct. A lot of them
Wow.
are on some mood stabilizers and the like.
Sure. Yeah. That's crazy. So this again wasn't the owner of the practice. It wasn't the practice manager's position. This was state law.
Correct.
So in an instant, hundreds of people lost their primary care provider. Those who had labs, EKGs, X-rays, whatever diagnostic tests that had been done, but they hadn't been informed what those results were. They're like they never happened. That money was wasted because they couldn't even get results from you.
Correct.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's sad, actually.
Yes, it is. That's a bizarre way to handle patient care and to handle our veterans. That's insane. So,
Correct.
So is that state law the same still?
It is. They still have the state law. The only state that has full practice authority and responsibility, or OTP, is North Dakota. We've had a couple other states that get close to it. They still have the word collaborative in there. Collaborative is fine, but it still can still tie your hands.
Sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, I get that. We've got another video coming out here soon that basically talks about how PAs can practice, and we use a family practice setting as kind of a template to show how a PA can practice without forced, coerced collaboration. In a way that we collaborate when needed, we refer when needed, and otherwise we do what we're trained to do. We practice medicine, we treat patients, and it works, and it works well. I've done it. I've seen others do it, and it works. It just isn't the way the law is written in most of the states. We need to get that changed.
Correct. OTP.
Yeah. OTP. All right. So we need to come back sometime and do another video and talk about OTP. And we need to, there's probably about 18 other videos we could do from the discussion we had before the camera was rolling. And hopefully you'll be up to do that. But today, I really wanted to highlight that this happens. And when it happens, that great amount of money is lost with all these diagnostic tests that just disappear because patients can't be given those results because you don't have a collaborative physician. The patients that can't get refills, that are going to go to the ER or urgent care to try to get refills and waste that money. The patients that are going to be harmed because they couldn't get refills. The overloaded other PCPs or urgent cares or emergency rooms that are going to be overloaded because they now have this group of people that are going to be dropped on their doorstep. And it doesn't have to be that way. So I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. I know this was a quick video, just to down and dirty. This is what happened to me and this is why. And hopefully we'll get some of this turned around. We need to, definitely need to. Well, will you come back? Can we do this again sometime?
I would love to.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we will do it. Well, again, Dr. Kris Pyles-Sweet, we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming into the PA universe for a time, giving us your story, telling us what happened, kind of making it known that this does happen, but it's got to change. The patients don't deserve it. The medical system is harmed by it, and we've got to change it. So thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing me to share my story.
You bet. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Hey, wasn't that a great segment with Dr. Kris Pyles-Sweet? I appreciate her coming on, appreciate her telling us her story. Guys, this could happen to you at any moment. If you're in one of those states, and 99% chance you are, then this could happen to you and your patients and your community and your practice. This is crazy. The things that automatically stop when a collaborative physician walks away or drops dead is crazy. We are trained to practice medicine and to refer when we need to and to collaborate when we need to and take care of the things that we can take care of. And that's a lot. So get involved. Get involved. Again, let me know what we can do different. Drop a comment. Hit that subscribe button right there. Hit that subscribe button, not that one, but the one at the bottom of the bar. And that way you'll be notified when our next videos drop. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming to the PA universe. For now, back to the real world. We're out.